दृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्वोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमः योगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ वर्स् 24 सदन्तरं सजातीयं न वैलक्षण्यवर्जनात् नामरूपोपाधिभेदं विना नैव सतो विदा विजातीयमसत्तत्तु न खल्विस्तीति गम्यते नास्यातः प्रतियोगित्वं विजातीयाद्भिदा कुतः। So the Sat has no differences. I mean, neither three types of differences are there, and the mantra in Chandogya indicates very clearly that Sat has no difference. There is nothing other than Sat. There is no second thing at all. Ekam eva advitiyam. That's what it indicated. Ekam negated Svagata Veda, internal differences within one thing. Even negated the Sajatiya Veda. I mean, there is nothing like Sat also. And Advitiyam negated Vijatiya Veda. There is nothing other than Sat. There is no second thing at all. So, and here we were seeing in the verse 24 that sadantaram sajatiyam nasti. So there is no second existence. So sadantaram, anyat sat asadantaram. There is no second existence. I mean, having a sajatiya veda with the first. Why? Vailakshanya varjanat. Vailakshanya varjanat. Because Vailakshanyam itself means difference. And varjanat, no difference. So there is no real difference in different types of existences. Even though they appear, the existences are different. Here this and these are have a different existence. Ease is associated with this. Ease, the existence is associated with this also. So it looks that there are varieties of the existences, and definitely all are existences, and therefore they have a saman jati. They are same species also. But so it says here, really speaking, there is no real difference between the existence connected to this or existence connected to this. Why? Because nama rupa upadi. Nama rupa upadi bedam vina. This nama rupa upadi is not there. Where is the question of where differences in existence? So nama rupa upadi actually creates such differences, creates a bheda, that there are many existences, but there is nothing like that. Let us not talk about existence. Let's talk about the Atma, Chaitanya. We definitely feel that Chaitanya in me and Chaitanya in you, means I the Atma and you the Atma are different. That's how we always feel, but there is no Vastavik Bheda. And for that they always give an example of a light, right? like a light which is not seen anywhere, which is experienced upon the hand, well, because of the reflecting medium. The reflecting medium also is creating this kind of a problem. Reflecting medium all is a nam rupa, any whatever medium, that it is a upadhi, and that creates this kind of a difference. Because what happens is, this the light which you won't see without reflection. Light is present in the whole room, but if any wall is not there, this is not there, then you won't find the existence of the light, because from the sun basically the light travels. I was talking in the morning itself. The light travels, I think, several crores of miles and comes here. When it falls here, we know the sunlight. In between in the space, it is dark only. So even the sun travels entire space, but this all our astronauts always tell that it is all dark, and they see the sun like just a ball, like a thing. So because in the atmosphere, in the space, there is no medium to reflect, then the presence of light, well, cannot be understood. So when it reflects, when it is reflected in a particular medium, then only we will be able to know that there is a light. And so we can take an example of even hand also. So light as such is not seen anywhere, but when it is experienced, which is experienced upon the hand because of the reflecting medium, because the hand reflects the light. And then there is a confusion that the light is basically located in the hand. That's the problem. When light is reflected, and then I feel the light is located here, not in between. Where it is reflected, you find that it is existent. And so on this also you find that light is existent, and here also you find light, because here also it is reflected. And in between you feel that there is no light. So the location in a light, is due to the location of this upadhi, the reflecting medium. Because of the different locations, different upadhis, different namarupas are there, and in each namarupa, in each reflecting medium, basically this light getting reflected, we feel that light is basically located in this place and in this place. And so even though the light which is all pervading, it looks that it has been divided into that. Or it is limited, let's say, not divided. It is limited to that particular reflecting medium, whatever may be the reflecting medium. So the Namarupa Upadhi alone creates such differences in a thing which is really free from all divisions. And so same way, even the Atma also, we feel that basically, Atma is as though divided, consciousness is as though divided, because consciousness is also getting reflected, manifest in this particular body. So we feel the consciousness is located here, and then another body, consciousness is getting reflected from that body. So we feel the consciousness is located there. So as though we find that this consciousness and that consciousness, is different. But actually, in one consciousness, all the bodies are there. In one light which is pervading entire room, all the hands and legs and everything, all the reflecting mediums are present in that light alone. But because getting reflected in a particular medium, we feel that light is located there, etc. So light basically is, we find the differences in varieties of the lights, which is not the correct thing. There is a one light which pervades everything in all the reflecting mediums, as well as without reflecting medium also light only pervades. So this is how actually in Sat you find the difference, that Gata Satta and Pata Satta, existence associated with the pot, and existence associated with the cloth, and existence associated with the pen, all different existences are there. But actually in one existence which is all pervading, in one Sat, all the names and forms exist. In fact, names and forms are non-separate from that existence. Names and forms have borrowed the existence from that Sat. And therefore, this is how, so it says here, Vailakshanya Varjanat, There is no real difference in varieties of the existences. And so this kind of a Bheda, the Sajatiya Bheda existence in two things. We find that there are two things, and in the existence also associated with the two things, actually that kind of a Sajatiya Bheda is basically Aupadika. Aupadika. It is born of the Upadi. It is born of basic, like the differences in varieties of the lights you find. I mean, you find there are varieties of the lights, or there are many lights, let's say. Many lights, well, definitely that's due to the reflecting medium. So we call the reflecting medium as a Upadi, then we say because of the Upadi, the Bhedas are there. So they are called Aupadika Bheda. And Aupadika Bheda, the differences born of the particular name and form, those Bhedas are Mithya Bheda. Aupadika Bheda are Mithya Bheda, basically. And so, Mithya Sajatiya Bheda Vartate. So, well, you can say that this existence associated with this and existence associated with this has a Bheda, but that is due to the particular this names and forms, and those, there is really no difference between there is no really a difference between two existences. Actually, in one existence pervades all the names and forms, and therefore if you want to talk about the differences in existence between two different existences, if you want to talk a difference, well, that Veda will be called Mithya Veda, or it is called Aupadika Veda. Same exactly like various Atmas, many Jivas, all Aupadika Veda. And that is very correct. Like, because the conscious, I'm diverting from Sat to the Chit now, because there you can appreciate well. So basically in consciousness also, well, getting reflected here also, this is a reflecting medium, body, getting reflected here, consciousness is reflecting from the other body. We feel that the consciousness as though are different. And so there is a Sajatiya Veda. You are also Atma, I am also Atma. But Swamiji, there is a Veda. You are different Jiva and I am different Jiva. Like that the people say. That's correct. That's correct. That Veda is there, but that is Aupadika. This is due to Upadi. A difference in conscious being you find, that differences are not due to consciousness. That is due to reflecting medium. So consciousness reflecting in this physical body, consciousness getting reflected in that physical body, that bodies have a difference. And that's how yesterday I gave a definition of Upadi. Those differences in the conscious being, etc., in consciousness you find, those differences are on account of the attributes of the bodies. Therefore you say, well, you are black and I am white, or you are a human being and I am so, or you are male and I am female, etc., etc. All these are Upadi Vedas. Consciousness has no difference. So, but where the consciousness getting reflected or manifest, well, and there itself that Upadi has been taken as a Atma, and that's how we find that there are many Atmas, and there is a variety in also. So actually there is no Sajatiya Veda, one Atma and another Atma, etc. Even though there is a Atma and therefore of the same species, but there are differences in varieties of the Jivas, etc. That is due to Upadi alone, due to bodies alone, and therefore such Upadik Veda are Mithya Veda, because really there is one Atma pervading all the bodies. One Atma pervading all the bodies, in which in fact all the bodies exist in Atma, all the bodies shine due to Atma, getting illumined through the Atma, and therefore it's not that in a particular body a particular Atma is there, in this body another Atma is there. Body serves just as a medium for manifestation of consciousness. That's all. So either you say reflecting medium, either you say medium for manifestation, either you say Upadi, etc. So here also Namarupa Upadi Bhedam Vina. So basically Namarupa Upadis only create a seeming differences between two existences. So don't think that there is a really Sajatiya Veda in Sat. And those, even though that difference, even Aupadika Veda, when that difference also will exist in Sat due to even Upadi, due to Nama Rupa. That is also after Srushti. Before Srushti, even that is also not there. And therefore, Sadeva Somidam Agrasit Ekam Eva Advitiyam. Eva means there is no Sajati Veda in Sat even before creation, right? Even after creation, creation is nothing but a manifestation of names and forms. And that names and forms also create a seeming difference between the Sat, creates a seeming difference in Sat called Sajati Veda. And but that is also after creation. But before creation, even that Namarupa itself were not there. There is a question of Veda in Sat. And so there is no Sajati Veda. I wanted to little clarify, and so I took it again, this particular portion which we have seen already. And now let's go to Vijatiya Veda. Now Vijatiya Veda Nisheda has been done by a Yukti here. Vijati, I have already told you, Vilakshana Jatihi Vijatihi and Tat Sambaddaha Vijatiya. So Vijatiya Veda we will have to talk about. Vijatiya Veda means what? Well, Veda definitely requires another member. That's for there. Member of the same class, difference with the member of the same class, Sajatiya Veda. Difference with the member of a different class, different species, Vijatiya Veda. Now Sat, let's say Sat belongs to one category, one species. Then what should be the other species? What should be the member or other member of species? Which species will be there? Vijati. Vijati means other species. If this is Sat, then the other species must be what? Asat, right? It must be Asat. Sat and Sat means Sajatiya Veda. Suppose one member of a Sat family, other member of a Sat family, like a difference between two mango trees. Well, there is a difference, but then both belong to the same species, so Sajatiya Veda. But then mango tree and computer, well, it's a Vijatiya Veda. Both belong to different species. So here we are now talking about in verse number 25, Vijatiya Veda in Sat. Sat has a Vijatiya Veda, let's say. So definitely the Sat has a Veda with a second member of a different species. What is a different species other than Sat? Asat. And what is Asat? Non-existence. So definitely, well, second member is Asat. And means there is no second member. Right? Second member is Asat. Means second member is non-existent. Means there is no second member. Then where is the question of Vijatiya Veda? You require, for Veda, for difference, you require another member. If you compare with that and you say. But if second member belongs to different species and that is Asat, this is Sat, then that is Asat. Because Vijati. And then, well, Asat means non-existence. Then non-existence means a second member of a non-existence family. Means there is no second member. And therefore, Sat does not have a Vijatiya Veda. That's what we want to convey. But Vidyaranya does this. And now he has brought the Pratiyogi. And therefore, I am allowed to, to make you bore today. Therefore, but let's discuss. This is a very beautiful thing as such. Nayayika says, well, these three things cannot be talked about without, or cannot be understood without these two words. One is Pratiyogi, other is Anuyogi. But what are these three things which cannot be understood without these two words? What are those three things? First is Abhava, non-existence. Non-existence you cannot understand, as per Nayayika's claim. Non-existence or Abhava cannot be understood without these two words, Pratiyogi and Anuyogi. Then second thing is a Bheda, difference. Difference cannot be understood without this Pratiyogi, Anuyogi pair. And then the third is a Sambandha. Relationship also cannot be understood without this pair, Anuyogi, Pratiyogi. Now what is it? We'll discuss this today. See, the first thing, let us take a Abhava. They claim this Abhava or non-existence cannot be understood without Pratiyogi and Anuyogi. Pratiyogi, I have told you yesterday, it's just a reference point. So, the first thing is Abhava. Abhava means an absence or a non-existence. So, there are two things in non-existence. What are those two things? Whose non-existence? First, whose non-existence? Non-existence of what? I mean, non-existence of which object? That's the first thing. And non-existence where that non-existence is. I will give you example. Well, there is no money with me. Just take this example. There is no money with me. No money, absence of money, non-existence of money. So, here, I mean, non-existence or absence of what? Absence of money. That money is called Pratiyogi. Could you follow what I am saying? Absence of money. Money is called Pratiyogi. Whose absence will be talked about, that is Pratiyogi. Where the absence is talked about, that is Anuyogi. That's all. So, the absence is where in me, I have said what? What I have said? There is no money with me. Or I have no money. Same thing. Same thing. I have no money. So, no me is equal to absence. Abhava. And absence of what? Money, Swamiji. Okay, so then that money is called Pratiyogi. Absence of what? Money. So that is Pratiyogi. And where it is not, where the money is not, with me. Okay, so you are Anuyogi. That's all. So Anuyogi, Pratiyogi. That's how it goes. I will give you another example, don't worry. Patre jalam nasti. There is no water in the glass. No water. Absence of water. Water is Pratiyogi. Where the water is not, in glass. So glass is Anuyogi. That's all. I hope you have understood. Pratiyogi means absence of. Whatever whose absence is called Pratiyogi. Where the absence, that is called Anuyogi. Right? Yasya abhavaha uchyate saha abhava pratiyogi. That's how they say. That's how they define like this. Yasya abhavaha uchyate sa abhava pratiyogi. Yatra abhavaha uchyate saha abhava anuyogi. Yatra, where the absence is talked about, that is Anuyogi. And whose absence is talked about, that is, definitely Pratiyogi. Could you follow that? I don't know what is happening. So contact your IT team to upgrade to Zoom Pro for unlimited group meeting minutes. I don't know. This meeting is going to end, it says. It happened in morning also. I don't know what is there. Let's see, I think within 10 minutes this will, it has countdown has started now. Or I may have to, perhaps after 10 minutes, I will have to join again. I don't know what is the problem. So it says Zoom Pro, to upgrade to Zoom Pro, it says. So contact your IT team to upgrade to Zoom Pro for unlimited group meeting minutes. I don't know, what is it?
Swamiji, what it is basically that 40 minutes is free. After that, there is a charge of $15 for unlimited time.
But so this is our paid, AVG paid.
Maybe they have not paid. The subscription is month to month unless they have automatic deduction.
Oh, I will have to contact them. Okay.
Because that could be the reason.
Oh, yes.
If it is not paid, then naturally it's going to discontinue after 4
But don't worry, be there. I will connect. I will host the meeting and then you again join it. Okay?
Okay.
So that could be done.
Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. You should told because I don't know all these things, So nice. Thank you very much. So patre jalam nasti. So basically patram, the vessel, is called anuyogi, and jalam, the water, is called pratiyogi. Now second thing, bheda. With three things they have, Nayayika claim that, well, basically it is, without pratiyogi you cannot understand three things. First is non-existence or absence, second is this bheda, difference, and third thing is relationship. So anyway, so bheda. So you can't talk about difference without two things. Difference from what? Like Rama is different, right? Rama is different. So let's say Rama is different from Lakshmana. Now we are talking about difference. Rama is different from Lakshmana. So different from Lakshmana. So from Lakshmana, that Lakshmana is pratiyogi. And different from, Lakshmana is different, but who is different? Rama is different. Then Rama is anuyogi. That's how it is. Yasmat bheda uchyate sa bheda pratiyogi, they call. Yasmat bheda uchyate. From the difference has been talked about the difference from whom, that is called pratiyogi, and the difference of the person who is different, that is called anuyogi. Abba. And then third, sambandha. Sambandha also is there, relationship. Relationship also involves two things. Second thing, with which this relation is mentioned, that second thing is called pratiyogi. Like I am related, let's say, again, Rama is related to Lakshmana, right? Or related with Lakshmana. Then with, whatever is associated with the with, that is pratiyogi. And the one who is related, well, that is anuyogi. So Rama is a anuyogi and Lakshmana is a pratiyogi. These are the Nayayikas. That is their fate. Simple thing. But they never understand the things in a simple manner. That is what the Nayayika is. So yena sambandha uchyate saha pratiyogi, and yaha sambandha is a anuyogi. So basically, like Krishna is related to Rama, then Krishna is related to Rama or related with Rama, then whatever is associated with, that is part, so becomes pratiyogi. So Rama is a pratiyogi and Krishna is related, that Krishna is an anuyogi. So this is how it is. And don't think this is even in our all Upanishad statements also they understood like this only. And asthulam ananhu vagere etc. also it has been told, asthulam ananhu arasvam adirgam achayam alohitam etc. Those things also is a nisheda. So exact nisheda is, they consider it as abhava, non-existence, absence. Asthulam means what? Absence of grossness. Where? In Atma. Absence of subtle body, absence of gross body in Atma. So that absence, the nisheda which has been talked about in Upanishad also, they understand like this. So nisheda of a gross body. So gross body is called pratiyogi. Could you follow what I am saying? And Atma is called anuyogi because that is where the nisheda has been taught. Like nisheda of a money, negation of a money, where? In me, right? With me. So that is basically a called, I am a locus of a non-existence or absence, that I am anuyogi. And I have, I'm in the absence of what? Well, absence of money, etc. Then money is called pratiyogi. This is how they say. Anyway, so but since Vidyaranya has used, we have to understand this word. So anuyogi and pratiyogi, without that they say you cannot understand three things, and that is, one is a non-existence or absence, second is differences, and third is the relationship. All these three require anuyogi and pratiyogi. Now come here. Now Sat, Sat is different from what? We are talking about Veda, right? So Sat is different from what? Asat. Asat is pratiyogi. Could you follow? Asat is pratiyogi. Remember, Rama is different from Lakshmana. So the Lakshmana is called pratiyogi. Rama is called anuyogi. Same way here. Sat is different from Asat, because Vijatiya Veda we are talking. Since we are talking about Vijatiya Veda, I have to say Sat is, what is Vijatiya, Vijatiya Veda of Sat is what? Asat. So definitely Sat is different from Asat. So Asat is a Pratiyogi and Sat is a Anuyogi. That's how it is. So, well, definitely accept, the Sat is a Pratiyogi, and well, Asat is a Pratiyogi means what? And definitely I have told you, Asat is Pratiyogi means there is no Pratiyogi at all. Because Asat means non-existence. So Pratiyogi does not exist. Pratiyogi does not exist. The second member itself does not exist. Where is the question of Bheda? Where is the question of difference at all? And therefore, Pratiyogi abhavat Bheda bhava. There is no Pratiyogi at all, because Asat is a Pratiyogi of a Sat, being a Vijatiya Bheda, and then Asat is a non-existent thing. And so there is no second member of a different species, is not there at all. Where is the question of talking about Bheda, Vijatiya Bheda at all? And therefore, tad asti na gamyate, well, Asat Vastu. Tad means that Asat Vastu, which is a Pratiyogi of Sat, well, does not exist at all, and therefore there is really no Vijatiya Bheda. Well, and this is how all the three Vedas have been negated. Which three Vedas? First is a Swagata Veda, which is an internal difference within one thing in terms of different parts. That is also not there. How it is negated in the Chandogya mantra? By the word Ekam. And then Evakara negated Sajatiya Veda, well, which today also I talked about the Sajatiya Veda. And that there are no different existences associated with different objects. Objects create a seeming difference in existence, that is Sat, and therefore there is no Sajatiya Veda. And third thing is, no, there is no Vijatiya Veda, because Vijati, the different species other than the Sat, if Sat means existence, the Vijati, the different species will be non-existence. And well, the member of a non-existence, that cannot be a second member, belong to Asat family, belong to non-existence. And therefore there is no Vijatiya Veda at all. If you can't follow this Pratiyogi, don't worry, because since they have used, Acharya has used that, and therefore I am saying it. Now it may go within 1 minute. Anyway, so Ekameva Advitiya analysis also is over. Vidyaranya does not comment upon Sat, but he picks up a new discussion, and that discussion is very, very important discussion. And well, we'll do that. I will discontinue the meeting and I will join you again. Yes. Other people also will join, I think, slowly.
Swamiji, I sent a message to Sahadev telling him about this problem.
Yeah. Have you given the message? Yeah, good. Thank you. Let's go to the next verse. Ekameva advitiyam sat siddhamatra tu kechana vihvala asadevedam purasiditya varnayan. Vidyaranya enters into an aside topic from this shloka. See, the problem is what we have discussed is that Sat has no Bheda. So Sat is, Sat without, the pure existence is without any Bheda. And definitely then Sat is not available for any transaction. Or wherever transactions are possible when the names and forms, well, definitely have come into the existence. Now, existence associated with this name and form, well, we can say it is available for transaction. But before creation, when the names and forms were also not there, then definitely that Sat is not available for transaction. If that Sat is not available for transaction, where is the question? How do you prove that the Sat was there? Perhaps there may be Asat before the creation, and that is how now Madhyamikas, the Shunyavadis, these Bauddhas will enter into the picture. Well, and even Upanishad discusses like that, Asadva idamagra asit, etc. In Chandogya, in Taittiriya, everywhere it is like this. So anyway, so this Sat which you said before creation, without even dividing all names and forms, etc., and it has no Bheda also, then how do you prove that there is a Sat? The Sat was there before creation. How do you prove it? How? Your Shastra says, but we don't agree to your Shastra. Bauddhas don't agree with the Veda. Basically, they don't accept Veda as a Pramana. And this kind of a Sat, without any even names and forms, not available for transaction. Two types of transactions are there. One is a Jnana Vyavahara, which we have talked, of course, and other is a Karma Vyavahara. So Jnana Vyavahara means you transact with that object through your senses and through your mind, etc. You contact them. That's what means this object is available for Jnana Vyavahara. If you contact an object through your Karmendriya, etc., through your organs of action, of course, mind definitely is required, it's a common factor. But through your organ of action, we say this object is available for Karma Vyavahara. Any object which you transact with, contact with, through Karmendriyas, through organs of action, we say that object is available for Vyavahara, transaction, Karma Vyavahara. And if I am seeing this object, my eyes are able to contact it, I say this object is available for Jnana Vyavahara. So this is how it is. But suppose a object is there which is not available for any Indriyas, including mind, then how will you prove that existence of that object? Since I say I see the object, clip is. Existence of clip is proven. I am able to touch it, well, definitely I say the clip is. I am able to hold the clip, I say, well, clip is, definitely. Since I am able to hold it, well, I say the clip is. So basically, an object which is not available for any Vyavahara, well, we say that object does not exist. And your Sat, well, is like this. Your Sat means before creation, no names and forms. Therefore, no Indriya can contact. Either organ of action also can contact which has a name and form. Sense organ also can contact which has a name and form. So before creation, even names and forms were not there. And still you say that Sat was there. Well, we don't accept. And so we say this creation right now, which is existence, we accept it, it is existent, has come from Asat, has come from Shunya. And well, not available for just for perception, that is one thing, but not available for even that Sat was not available for Anumanam also, right? Anumanam is possible, inference is possible based on certain perceptual data. If that is so based on perception it is there. How do you do Anumanam of a fire on a hillock? You are not able to see, that's correct. But still you say fire is on the hillock. How? Based on certain perception, perceptual data. What? Smoke. So without smoke, how will you say there is a fire? So certain things should be available for perception. Let your Sat should not be available for perception. We agree. But something else will be there. Based on that, when we say that yes, Sat was there before creation. But nothing was there, you are saying. Nothing was there. Sadeva asit. Then, well, you go by Veda, but we don't go by Veda. And we say whole creation has come from Asat. That's how they say. Anyway, so, Then, I mean, this Sat which is not available for any means of knowledge, it is like this. But then the third thing also is there, certain things like, like this pen, etc., which when it was made initially in those days, right now it is available for perception, etc., or through organ of action, I can touch everything, that's okay. And so it is available for transaction, that is okay. But when it was made initially, and then before it was made, actually, it was invented by some person, right? Invented by some person. So this pen was existent at that time in form of a conception. He was some idea. And so, so then also we call it as it is available for Vyavara, because in form of conception it was there, and that was definitely brought into now a reality as object. So your Sat could not be even conceived, because whatever we talk about Sat, you say that is not there. Sat has no attributes. Sat has no form. Sat has not this. Ashabdam, Asparsham, Arupam, Arasam, Anityam, Agandavat, etc. So it doesn't have any attributes. It doesn't have a form. Then how do you conceive it? It is not available for any conception. Any form of, when we say, well, Sat would be like this, he say it is an object of conception, that is not Sat. Any object of conception is not Sat, because it's being object, and Sat is not an object. And therefore, well, then how will you accept that Sat? We don't accept it. And therefore, existence, etc., well, they don't accept. And who are the people? Madhyamikas. I am going to describe today. See, these Bauddhas actually, first thing, before I go into that verse, I would like to talk about these Bauddhas. So, basic founder of this Buddhism is a Gautam Buddha actually, and he was enlightened. Buddha means an enlightened person, wise person. But the unfortunate thing is, Buddha did not teach anything, really. He used to move around, and he used to answer few questions and tell few things, and those things have been collected by his disciples at that time, whoever was moving with or whoever meeting him. And so some stray statements were there of a Buddha. And and then many followers who came later, including King Ashoka, all this they wanted to collect his teaching, which was nothing but in form of stray statements only. And that King Ashoka, being a king, he organized several seminars and called various monks and collected the statements of Buddha or the teachings of Buddha, and brought out in the form of books called Tripitakam. Pitakam means it's a basket. Pitakam is equal to basket. Tripitakam means 3 baskets. So first is a Sutra Pitakam, second is a Abhidharma Pitakam, and third is a Vinaya Pitakam. And of course, this is in the Sanskrit, but most of his, the teaching they are in a Pali language, and therefore this Sutra Pitakam is called Sutta Pitakam, and this Abhidharma Pitakam is called Abhidhamma Pitakam, and the third is a Vinaya Pitakam. Anyway, now here this Sutra Pitakam basically deals with some statements of Sutra, like we have Sutra, Brahma Sutra, etc. So they also, our whole Panini teaching is in form of Sutra. So the 3 books basically, they call Pitakam is basket, but the basket which contains this knowledge, it's in form of books. So this Sutra Pitakam deals with the statement of a sutra. Abhidharma Pitakam deals with the philosophy of a Buddha, and Vinaya Pitakam deals with the conduct of the monks, lifestyle of the monks, etc. And these 3 basics book are there in in this Bauddha dharmas. Now, this Bauddhas have been divided into four. First is a Sautrantika Buddhism, and this is based on the sutra, that is a Sutra Pitakam. Well, they take it as a valid means of knowledge, and so which is in the form of sutras. Like our Veda is a valid means of knowledge for all of us, so we are Vaidikas. This Sautrantika, they take that Sutra Pitakam, that one of the book, which has all the aphorisms. I mean, his teaching in the form of aphorisms. They accept it as a valid means of knowledge, and so those Buddhists are called Sautrantikas. Second is a Vaibhashika philosophy, Vaibhashikas. That's a branch of Buddhism only, and this is based on a commentary upon Abhidhamma Pitakam. And I told you Abhidharma Pitakam is dealing with the philosophy of the Buddha. So, his commentary actually is called Vibhasha. And so those who follow that Vibhasha is called Vaibhashikas. And the third one is our Yogachara philosophy. And it got this name because it is supposed to give emphasis on practice of yoga actually, and practice of achara, conduct. And that I have told you, Vinaya Pitakam. Well, Vinaya means basically achara, conduct. How a Buddhist monk should live, etc. What kind of a what kind of a lifestyle he should have, etc. has been discussed there. So, Yogachara philosophy gives they give a Yogachara Buddhism. They are called Yogacharas actually, and they give a emphasis on Vinaya Pitakam. And fourth is what we are going to discuss is Madhyamika Buddhism, and they claim to follow the teaching of Buddha called Golden Middle Path. They call Golden Middle Path means Madhyam Marga, not giving too much importance or emphasis or becoming fanatic about any of these things. And so Madhyamik philosophers, Madhyamik Buddhisms, that is called Shunyavada. And that is, so these four branches are there in Buddhism: Sautrantika, Vaibhashika, Yogachara and Madhyamika. Why are you discussing, Swamiji? All these four are there in Mandukya. All the four are there in Mandukya. So, definitely, I am just for reference I am telling you. But here Vidyaranya is referring to Madhyamikas, which believes that everything is ultimately has come from Shunyam, and what has come from Shunyam is essentially Shunyam. That's all it is. Because the Karanam is Shunyam and there Asat, and therefore whatever has come from Shunyam is Shunyam. Sarvam Shunyam eva Shunyam Shunyam. Sarvam Shunyam Shunyam. The other one is Sarvam Kshanikam Kshanikam. Because they always keep that bell on the head. And that's how this thing comes into my, Anyway, so Sarvam Kshanikam Kshanikam, Sarvam Shunyam Shunyam. They are two different branches actually. One is a Kshanikavadi, other is a Shunyavadi. So these people, Shunyavadi says, how do you prove your Sat, which has no attributes, nothing, no form, nothing. So before creation, no name and form, not available for any transaction, no properties, etc. How you cannot infer also. And then you say that Sat was there because Veda talks about, Chandogya talks about, and you accepted it. How do you accept it like that? You should not accept. So we will have to answer them. And Upanishad also says, Asadva idamagra asit. In Taittiriya it is there. Asadva idamagra asit. Even Brihadaranyaka it is there. Even in Chandogya it is there. Of course, Chandogya asks a question, Katham asataha sat jayeta. So Chandogya, I think Uddalaka must have faced these people, or I don't know. Buddhas cannot face because this is a Veda actually. But somehow Uddalaka must have thought about it. It looks to me. So because he says, Katham asataha sat jayeta. Because the nature of Sat is such that how the Sat is existence. But how do you prove the existence of the pure existence? That's a problem. And therefore there must have been Shunyam. If somebody must have told, and so he said, well, from Shunyam, how can this whole creation come which is pure, which is in the form of existence? Well, existent thing can come out from a cause which is existent. From non-existent, nothing can come out. Non-existent gives rise to non-existence. And existent thing give rise to existence. And therefore, Sat is there anyway. But we'll discuss that. But my point is, so this has been discussed like this. And well, this Madhyamika Buddhist basically says that there is nothing called Sat, Sat, etc. Asat was there. They tell it is just an imagination, like that they say. Like they have a difficulty in accepting a space also. Like, the space is an element. It's an existent thing because it has come out from the Brahman. Tasmadva etasmad atmanaha akasha sambhutaha. From the Brahman, the first element which came is Akasha. Means it is an existent thing. It's an element. They say, this Madhyamika says, well, this Akasha means an absence of everything. Akasha is not an element which is born. But Akasha is something which is absence of everything. That's how they say. Anyway, Abhava Padartha they call. And many philosophers, not only these Madhyamikas or Shunyavadis, many philosophers take space to be a Abhava Padartha, referring to absence of everything. So, because, the space is not available for transaction. And that's how they are not able to accept it. If anything which is not available for transaction, it is absence. Therefore, it is absent. That's all. That's how they say. Anyway, so Shunyavadi says before Srushti, there was Asat, there was Shunyam, nothingness. So the truth of the creation is also right now Asat alone. Because everything has come from Asat. And the unfortunate part is the Shunyavadis do not accept Vedas as a pramanam because Bauddhas are considered Nastika. I have told you there are 12 darshanas, 12 philosophies. Out of the 6 philosophies belong to Astika philosophy. 6 philosophies are considered Astika philosophy. Other 6 philosophies are Nastika philosophy. Astika philosophy means they believe in Veda pramanam. So Vedaha pramanam asti iti vadati saha astikaha. Vedaha pramanam nasti iti vadati saha nastikaha. So therefore, asti. What? Veda is a pramanam. If anyone accepts, that is astika. Veda is not pramanam. Nasti iti vadati nastika. So Bauddhas don't accept Veda as a pramanam. Therefore, this problem has arisen. And Vyasacharya and Shankaracharya, of course, analyzing this Brahma Sutra very, very elaborately in the Bhashyam. And Shunyavadi quotes this basically says the Upanishad, your Veda itself says that there was Asat before the creation. Asatva idam agra asit. Idam, this whole universe, agre. Srushte prag, before the creation was Asat. Well, so he has raised a question here. And he says, well, we have an experience of a non-existence also. In Sushupti, like for a sleeper, everything has resolved. The whole world, body, mind, sense complex, everything has resolved. And therefore, total absence of everything is available in the Sushupti, that is your own experience. And therefore, the creation also must have come from the state where there is everything is absent. Because you see, whenever you talk about a Sushupti, you can extend that thing to the creation. We are also doing that. So we always, whatever the situation, if you want to talk about a situation before creation, you can always appreciate it by discussing a state called deep sleep state. And therefore, well, he also takes that example. Then in Sushupti there is a non-existence. And therefore, well, before creation also there was non-existence, etc. And of course, one line answer in Dakshinamurti Stotram by Acharya is in Sushupti, don't say there is non-existence. Sanmatra karanopasamharanataha yobhut sushuptah puman. Sanmatra. So, well, this person has just become in form of pure existence. Not in the form of non-existence. He has become just existence. And we have discussed this before few verses. And well, so we are going to prove it that that's not so. Here it says, Ekameva Advitiyam Siddham, well, Shruti Yukti Anubhava Pramana, everything reveals that there is Sat alone, but they don't accept it. So atra kechana vihvalaha avarnayan idam puraha asat eva. Atra, with respect to this idea that everything has come from Sat, before creation there was Sat alone, etc., etc. With respect to that, kechana, some of the people, vihvalaha, bewildered, confused people, well, avarnayan, they concluded what? Idam pura, idam, this universe, pura, before, well, asat eva, it was asat or non-existence. That is what he said. And further he is going to say, we'll discuss this tomorrow. Day after tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Shishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.